Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather. We'll start up in the northeast. Storm system has exited. Beautiful day there. That's Killington. A lot of the resorts picking up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inches, somewhere in that zone. But beautiful. Nice day there. That's going to be probably the biggest storm for a while in the northeast. And in fact, that's going to be the case out west as well. The Intermountain West is going to turn dry. The place to be starting this afternoon, tonight, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is right here, the Pacific Northwest. Baker, Stevens Pass, Whistler, Blackcomb, which is what you're looking at right here. I mean, it's a quiet start to the day, but there are 2 or 3 storm systems lined up this afternoon, tonight, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Even into BC and towards Banff, those would all be good places to be for about the next 4 days. Let me show you the pattern. Here's infrared satellite, so you can almost make it out in the clouds. All the action's being pushed like this, and the jet's sort of amplifying up, and then it's kind of coming down and around. What's going to happen is, let me just change color here, all of this moisture and action out here that's loading up, as the jet begins to buckle, it's going to change and it's going to draw down like this. It's going to buckle, and all of this moisture in the storm track is going to take direct aim at the Pacific Northwest, at British Columbia, the Banff area, northern Idaho, and northwest West Montana, basically through the first second of March. And then the storm track is going to shift even further south, and then that's what will deliver moisture after the 3rd of March through a lot of the interior or Intermountain West. It's going to be a dry period until we get to that for the Intermountain West, and I'll show you all that. Let me show you the interpretation here from the GFS model. And let me just take you into Sunday morning. So there's Sunday morning. Notice, here comes the storm, snowing in the Pacific Northwest. Some of the snow levels could be high. So you'll want to go to higher elevations for a lot of this snow. Eventually, though, the levels will come down over the course of each day as colder air filters in. But there you go. There's Sunday. Little clipper moving through the northeast, but accumulations are going to be light up in that area. All right, so this is Monday morning. Next storm system hits the Pacific Northwest, northern Idaho, northwest Montana. There's Monday afternoon, Monday night. Tuesday morning, same pattern, same places. Okay, so here's Wednesday morning. This is the 2nd of March, same pattern. Now, by the 3rd, you'll notice some changes. The storm track begins to shift a little further south, and now it's starting to catch northern California. All right, let's move through, and here is Friday morning, the 4th. Now we start to see a little more action across the Intermountain West. So there's a storm system that will traverse and break down some of the high pressure that's going to sit there for a while. But you'll notice some snow beginning to encroach on southern Idaho and eventually Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. So there's the 4th, and here's the 5th. Here's the morning of the 5th. So you've got some more snow sliding through the Intermountain West. And then here's the 6th. Right here, another little storm coming down the pipeline for the Intermountain West. So while we're going to have a dry quiet period between now and probably the 2nd or 3rd of March across the Intermountain West, that will change. And eventually the storm track will come back. Here are my totals, and you'll really be able to see it with this. So today through the 28th, 1, 2, 3, almost 4 feet in places in the Pacific Northwest over Baker, Stevens Pass, Whistler, Blackcomb. Some of that spills over into Red Mountain, BC, Revelstoke. Some of it towards Fernie. A little bit might catch western Alberta. But look at Schweitzer. You're in for a nice 2 to 3 day period with this. Some of that spillover snow. Whitefish, Brundage, you'll get some of that as well. All right, so that's phase 1. Let me show you phase 2. This is the 1st of March through the 3rd. So a little shifting south of the storm track now, beginning to include some of northern California, a little more of Idaho, a little more of Montana, and a little bit of Wyoming, and just a touch for the Wasatch. That's through the 3rd. Now, after the 3rd, things look even better because here it is. This is the final phase, the 4th through the 7th. Look at that. Direct aim at the Intermountain West. The numbers aren't huge for Utah. Have to keep an eye on that, but they could be big in Colorado with a couple of different storm systems traversing this storm track. So we'll keep an eye on that, but at least there are changes for everybody down the road once we get into March. All right, let me show you what I am thinking for the Northeast. There's a little clipper later this weekend, but I mean, this takes us all the way through the 7th. The numbers are not big considering this is, what is this, a 8 to 9 day period. So a couple of clippers, and that's probably going to do it unless there's a major change and some East Coast storm rolls up, but right now it doesn't look that way. I showed this yesterday. These are the season totals so far. This is also on my blog if you want to check it out, but you can see I've got a lot of different resorts on there. Killington, after this storm, I think now is up in the 130s. So they're moving up the list. But a lot of these places, especially in the Pacific Northwest, will move up the list pretty quick with this storm track that's going to nail that area this weekend and early next week. And then later in the period, of course, like I was saying, that storm track will begin to shift back towards the Intermountain West. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in here. Always appreciate it. Take care. Have a great weekend.